So you're looking to choose a marketing agency, but you may not know where to start or what to ask. Well, this video is for you. So what I've created is a 5-part checklist to give you some questions and to give you some criteria that this agency should tick before you choose them. So let me get into this presentation. And by the way, it is specifically for paid ads. I work specifically in paid ads, so this is Facebook, Google, and TikTok ads. Okay, but why should you listen to me? Okay, so I've been working in marketing for the past 4 years, specifically working with Facebook and Google ads. I've spent over 4.5 million in ad spend during my career, and I've worked for 3 separate marketing agencies, both good and bad agencies. So I understand the traits of a good agency, and I really understand the traits of a bad agency and what you don't want to pick when you choose an agency. And overall, I have an aim to increase the quality of the work done in agencies, because it is something that I feel really lacks particularly, but there's a reason for this lack of quality in agencies. So why are you actually getting burnt by agencies? Some examples could be poor agency management. When I worked for agencies in the past and they've had bad management, it's made it so much harder for the individuals who are actually working in your account, because typically they're just going to blame you, and that is just bad management, and it's really demotivating, and it makes you not want to work for them. So poor agency management is a big one in my opinion. Second point here, juniors on accounts. So if it's an agency that's a bit skimpy on their salaries, you're only going to be able to hire juniors. Okay, and if this happens, this could be a reason the results you're getting aren't very good, simply because the account executive doesn't have the experience or the knowledge to gain the results you need for your business. Okay, so you want to make sure the people working on your accounts are of a good level, or if juniors are involved, they are accompanied by someone of a senior position or senior experience. Okay, but fundamentally in point 3, the main reason you're getting burnt by agencies is because the barriers to entry to starting an agency are extremely low. I'm talking you can start an agency with 100 quid. And this is exactly what has happened with the SMMA trend on YouTube. So SMMA stands for Social Media Marketing Agencies. And this is typically teenagers who are just hungry to make money, which is no problem around this at all. And they are recommended by individuals on YouTube to start their own social media marketing agency and start running Facebook and Google ads for people. But as I said, these are most likely going to be juniors, and they don't have the experience for the other variables that go into the successful marketing campaign. So you end up getting burnt by these people. This is a reason why you want to do your due diligence and your research with an agency before you pick them. However, another part here, but maybe something you don't want to hear, is your expectations might be a bit too high for your market. So you should understand the competition in your market, and you should know if it's a competitive market that you're actually in within advertising. Great way to see this is, what is the cost per click? The price of a click can massively vary. So typically you can see some clicks for around 50p, but then you can also get clicks going up to like £20. So I've worked with people in the automation industry, so sort of like SaaS companies, and I've seen clicks for like 15 to £20 a click, and it's ridiculous. But these people have massive budgets. They're spending like £100,000 a month on Google alone. Secondly, you want to sort of understand your digital assets outside of your actual paid advertising campaign. These are the variables that are critical to the success of your advertising campaign, but aren't actually directly done within the Google Ads platform or the Facebook Ads platform. This is things I'm talking about, like your funnel, your offer, and your product guarantee are extremely important, but aren't particularly the priority of an agency. A good agency will bring you up on these and say, maybe you need to improve your funnel, maybe you need to make a better guarantee or offer, but it's not directly the agency's responsibility to do this. It is more yours, okay? Unless it's within their scope of work. But if these aren't of good quality, there's no amazing marketing that can outperform a great offer. Promise you when I say that. If you want to improve the quality of your advertising campaign easily and right now, within 5 minutes, increase your offer, make it more attractive, give a really good guarantee, or a bit longer term, improve the funnel that they are going through when they go onto your website. So without further ado, let's just actually dive into the checklist. Okay, So the first one that we want to look out for, or we want to ask about, is case studies. The aim of a case study is to sort of demonstrate the experience they have within your industry. So you want to make sure they have at least 2 case studies that are relevant to your business, and they have achieved really good results for these people. Because most likely, if they have experience in your industry, they get a sense of what works well, what doesn't work, and there will be a less transition period of having to do trial and error in order to find out what works and what doesn't, because they've done it already. So this is a massive help if they already have experience in your industry. A few questions that we want to ask are, similar to what I was talking about previously, your digital assets. What outside the actual ads themselves made this account or these accounts successful? Can you talk about the offer, the guarantee, the contents that they had to use within the social media advertising on the Facebook video or the TikTok video? And you want to ask about their funnel. What made these particular wow? Because you want to translate these into your own account if you can. Second question, how would you tailor this strategy to my company? Every company is going to be different in slight different ways. So you want to make sure they have a precise and a good answer as how they're going to translate this strategy to your own company. And thirdly, which we're moving on to for point 2, who worked on the account. This is really important. So number 2, we want to look the user or the account executive who will be working on your account on LinkedIn. And we want to do a bit of research. We want to see the level of experience they have, how long they work directly with Google or Facebook ads, or how long they've even worked in marketing for. Because what you won't think that happens with an agency is that your work is actually going to be done by one person. Most of the time, it's going to be one individual who's working on your account, not a whole team. Okay? So this is our common misconception with agencies, is that I'm going to have a team of people who are always going to be working on my account. But it's not the case. In my experience anyway. In my opinion, this isn't a bad thing at all. If anything, you want to have less people on your account, but these people have to have good experience in marketing. So another point to mention is, most likely, you won't be speaking to the accounts executive directly. Most likely you're going to be speaking to the founder, or you're going to be speaking to someone in sales, and that's absolutely fine. But you want to at least get a sense of this account executive, and a good agency would most likely put that account executive on your proposal. If they do this is good, because you can actually speak to them and actually get to know and trust they have the experience needed for your account. So questions we want to be asking by looking up the individual on LinkedIn. Primarily, we want to know, is this person being outsourced from the agency? Because typically, if they're outsourced, it means they are probably of less quality and are cheaper to hire. And this isn't good for your accounts. This doesn't happen 100% of the time. Okay, they could be hiring some good freelancers, but typically if they're outsourced, it means they're cheap and less experienced. So it should ring a red flag if you see this. And you want to know their sort of experience specifically within marketing. So let's look at my LinkedIn. I've got it up here. One thing to do when you find out who the account executive is just get a sense of their experience from their top bit of the profile. But specifically, we want to look at their main experience section. We want to know, what is their experience within the marketing industry? Have they worked in-house for brands, or have they worked for agencies? How long have they worked with Google or Facebook ads? And this just gives you a good chance to actually think, oh yes, I'm going to be in safe hands with this account executive. Number 3, and one thing you probably wouldn't think about, but is actually quite important, is what is the agency's creative testing strategy? If you don't know what a creative testing strategy is, that's absolutely fine. I don't expect you to, because not every agency does it. But a creative testing strategy is pretty much making incremental improvements to your Facebook or Google Ads campaign through means of constant little tests to improve either your ad creative, your ad copy, or your targeting. And this should all be created and recorded in some sort of framework. So I have a video going over a creative testing framework. If you want to see it, it'll be in my account. I haven't made it yet, so make sure you subscribe to see that one, or it's probably in my page already. You want to know the creative testing strategy because this is key to the continued ROI growth of your paid advertising campaign. The way you're going to reduce your cost per results or increase your ROAS is by making incremental improvements to the top performing campaigns, ads, and ad groups. When you can incrementally improve these steadily over time and understand what works and what doesn't, this is how you increase your ROI within paid advertising. And a good agency will take this seriously and follow a process like this. Okay, so the questions we want to be asking are, do you have a creative testing strategy? And can you show me how you've used it in past to improve and scale an account? Number 4 is agency resources. This is more just a good housekeeping one, and it means your life is going to be a lot easier. I mean, the reason you're going to be hiring an agency is for flexibility. They're the experts in their market. You can just leave them to do it, and as long as you're just managing them, making sure they're getting these results and maintaining it, you know, you want the flexibility that they can handle other aspects of your marketing campaign. Having everything in-house is basically good for you because it will free up your time to having to organize and gather other variables that are needed for your campaign. So questions to ask are, do you have any ad copy experts? This typically will be no. The majority of agencies, all of the agencies I've worked for haven't had direct ad copy experts. It's just up to the individual to have the experience and the knowledge of consumer psychology to translate it into the ad copy. But if they have an ad copy expert, a specific ad copy writer, this will be really useful and I would love it, and I really think every agency should have this, in my opinion. Next, you want to know, do you have a creative team? Do you have people who can get my images or my video ads created? And thirdly, do you have any website builders? Do you have people who can quickly create a landing page? Because a great way to be more specific with your advertising is to have a specific landing page, not a general homepage targeting everyone. You want to be as specific as possible with your service or your product. So if they can get a landing page created quickly, in-house, this is going to save you time. And if they know exactly what they need to do in order to structure it properly to give the individual everything they need to convert, then this is going to be really beneficial to you. Last one is your contract. So a contract's actually probably one to really consider because, as I've said, a main point you're hiring an agency is to have flexibility. And if you are trapped into a 12-month contract, because that is what they offered you at the start, you won't have the flexibility to leave if they are performing badly. I've worked for agencies in past where they've tried to get people into a 12-month contract. In my opinion, what I expect of agencies is to be running on a 1-month rolling contract. Because if you're not performing as an agency, you should not want your client to be trapped. That's just not a sustainable way of working. What I would recommend, however, is starting with a 3-month minimum. This should be fine because you need to give them some time to get their head around the accounts, okay, and get going with it, because you're not going to see results immediately in marketing. Please be patient, and it may take up to 3 months to see some good results that you want to have from your account. And then after that, we can move it on to a 1-month rolling contract because, you know, you'll have the flexibility then to leave. But you want to pick your contract wisely and know you're in safe hands. Yeah, so in summary, that is the 5-part checklist. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any other questions that you think would be quite useful to ask for a marketing agency, then let me know in the comments below. I'm more than happy to give you some advice or some guidance. Okay, thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one.